Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We have EZA Strength Kid Buu up first out of the two new EZAs. He is rainbowed, he is level 10 links. We have him on the full 200% lead Buu Saga team, at least with all the Buu units. Very much looking forward to this one. In terms of starter turn numbers, 907k attack, 488k defense, and this piece of Hubba Bubba hasn't even begun to build up yet. We don't even have a domain active, and we haven't even used his active. So I am very much looking forward to this one. We do have Big Bad Bosses active with Tech Buhan. So we're going to start the rotation like this. Of course, to build up, he does need to super attack. So hopefully the additionals are going to be on our side. We are starting with key +3, attack and defense +250. We'll get 50% attack and defense on super attack each time he does super. And then we'll gain an additional 40% attack and defense with each attack performed up to 160. So only 4 attacks need to be performed for Kid Buu to build up. So we could pretty much do that in what? 2 turns? Literally 2 turns, the beginning of 2 turns. So we're starting with 10.2 mil. And again, we haven't even fully built up yet, nor do we have a domain active. So that's attack number 1. Can we get a second? We do, and it's a super attack. Already up to 15.3 mil. So that's an extra 40%, that's 80 in total. And 2 50% attack and defense raises on super. Third, that's only a normal, so 1 more attack and Kid Buu is already fully built up. I like the quick build up. In terms of how much his stats jump, I wasn't expecting it to go up that high. He does also launch an additional attack that's a 50% chance to become a super, which is going to help him build up even quicker, hence why we only have 1 attack left. He does have a built-in 50% chance to crit. My build on him is a little bit old, so we're going to have to kind of correct that with skill orbs. I'll probably give him a little bit of dodge, just to kind of give him a bit extra. Does also have 20% base damage reduction. We'll also gain an additional 40% attack and defense up to 120. So only 3 stacks there. An additional damage reduction of 10% up to 30% per margin power or margin Buu Saga category ally on the team, which the full team is margin power stroke margin Buu Saga, even though it goes whichever category has more units. But we essentially have a full team of both. So we've got the full extra attack and defense, we've got the full 30% damage reduction, so Kid Buu is sitting on 50% damage reduction at a base, which is very nice considering the stats he's going to be up to once he's fully built up. Start of turn, literally first appearance, we had like what, 400k defense with nothing else active, no support, no active, no domain, no build up, and he already had 400k defense pre-super, which is crazy. I can't wait to see what his numbers are next turn. He then also gets an additional 100% defense and an additional damage reduction of 20% before the character receives an attack 6 times in battle. So when I was going through his details, the way I think that works, because it is capped at 6 times, I think that's essentially going to be either, or kind of equate to 6 turns. So before he receives the first initial attack in a turn, that's 1. Next turn he does it 2, or it's, say for example we put him in slot 1 right now and then there's like 4 attacks. That equates to 4 of the 6 times he needs to be hit to have that additional defense and damage reduction. I'm not sure, you have to let me know down in the comments how that works. However, I'm going to let him go in slot 1 because he basically has 70% damage reduction right now. So we're going to let him go in slot 1 because he's definitely more than capable of being there while he has his full damage reduction. We're up to 1.9 million on attack and over 1 million defense. Don't forget, 1 more attack and he's fully built up. But that is over 1 million defense pre-super. That is before he super attack whatsoever. And don't forget, he has a built-in additional on top of that, and the potential system could activate a second additional. And he already has just over 1 million defense, and he has 1 more attack to fully build himself up. This is before you factor in domains and support. This is just Big Bad Bosses and Kid Buu's build up. And then on top of that, we'll have 70% damage reduction, and then eventually once that goes 50%, which is still crazy to think with the amount of defense he has. 22.6 million. This Kid Buu is insane. Honestly, this Kid Buu is ridiculously good. The amount of margin Buu Saga support we've got over the last year has generally been crazy, but the way they've kind of tightly tied together essentially the extreme version of margin Buu Saga or margin power of all the Buu units, they've really done a good job of it, especially with like a nice pink bow on the top. Literally, with this piece of bubblegum. That's literally exactly what they've done. A nice, pretty bow on top. Because you have Fat Buu with the lead, but he stacks. He has a revival and active skill, which basically works as an usher, which are the two important parts of his kit. Yes, he has guard, and the stacking is useful. But the active skill, which is basically an usher, then the revival, there's so much more useful mechanics that help the overall team out, which makes Fat Buu still a very reliable and good unit. You have EZA Exchange Buu, who can do massive amounts of damage, has a ton of damage reduction at 70%. Also has dodge along the way as well once he's in Evil Buu. You don't even have to transform him, it's just if you want more damage and more stats. Then there's Super EZA Kid Buu, who, yes, can't link to the new one, but you can keep them separate for the most part, with one of the best supports still to this day in the game. EZA LR Fizz Buuhan, who has guard, dodge, stacking, good damage, good defense, just an overall great unit for the team. Tech Buuhan really tied this team together with his release a few months ago with the domain supporting everyone. And then not only that as well, once you go into the domain, the amount of damage you can do with Super Buu is pretty crazy. He also has guard. And now we have Kid Buu, who has very quick build up compared to a Fat Buu that stacks, compared to an Exchange Buu that also stacks. Not saying Tech Buu's slow, but Kid Buu's, which is very quick, is literally what, 4 attacks, and has a ton of defense and damage reduction. He is the monster of the team to an already well put together team. Right, we do have Kid Buu support. He is also fully brought up. So again, this is with Super EZA Fizz Kid Buu support, and now Strength Kid Buu is fully brought up. 2.5 million attack stat, and again, we're yet to super attack with 1.3 million defense. The only thing we're yet to get is the domain, but 29.2 million, which we can get. We just need to get Tech Buuhan on a rotation with just power absorption units, which unfortunately Kid Buu doesn't actually go on. You can get it active on the same team, but not on the same rotation. This is going to do nothing. I mean, he only super attacked once, but this is going to do nothing. Genuinely, this is going to do nothing. Yeah, 74 damage. Even if we didn't have the full 70%, which I'm not sure if he actually still has the extra 20% for receiving 6 attacks before he attacks in battle. Even if we didn't, 50% with easily well over, like, what was that, 1.2, 1.3 million defense? And he only super attacked once. But I suppose that is going to kind of be the techie thing when it comes to the team, and even then it's not that much of an issue, especially if you have Tech Buuhan on an opposite rotation, activate the domain, then float him. The only reason why I've kept Tech Buuhan with Kid Buu this entire time is because they both share big bad bosses. Out of every unit here, they're the only ones that share big bad bosses. Of course, Super EZA Kid Buu unfortunately doesn't link with him. And then the only other unit that can supply Strength Kid Buu with big bad bosses is Bootanks, who needs to transform into Buuhan for you to even get that link. So that's why we haven't managed to get the domain. I mean, there is also the possibility of running him on Broly's team, which I might do, because you can also stretch the Buu units in to Broly's team as well. You also have another domain being active with Broly. Broly already has a stacked team. Kid Buu has 2 very good teams he can sit on right now. Not only that, you also have Glorio, who has amazing support, who unfortunately I don't have. That's already what? 3 teams? 3 teams you can put Kid Buu on that's pretty insanely stacked. And then there's also Tech Buuhan. Why did I think that he didn't go on Tech Buuhan's lead? Okay, that was a stupid mistake I made. For some reason, I completely forgot that Kid Buu goes on Tech Buhan's lead. I thought he didn't. Oh, well, there we go. We can just easily hop back in and then get Kid Buu under the domain and then see what he's really doing. Because then we'll have double Tech Buhans. Why did I not realize that those two, well, not those two, but that he would go on that lead? I mean, we have everything ready to be active right now. So we're going to pop the domain. We're also going to pop Kid Buu's active skill. Look at all of this coming together. Everything coming together right now. So the domain is up. Before we pop the active skill of Kid Buu's, what's his stats? 2.7 mil attack, 1.25 defense. Now let's pop the active. I had to come back and redo that so we actually saw the animation. But of course, you can use his active skill once there is a Majin Buu Saga category enemy, which there isn't really right now. However, that's fine because all Kid Buu will then have to do is take 6 or more attacks in battle, which by the time you get to use his active skill, I mean, you can literally use that as quick as possible. If the attack patterns line up really well for you, you could pretty much have that available on literally turn 6, the earliest, I think. No, turn 5 if he appeared on turn 1. If there are enough attacks between turn 1 and turn 3 on his second appearance, you could generally have that as quick as turn 5. So who is he better linked with? I mean, they're pretty much the exact same. So he now has 3.3 million attack, 1.5 million defense. I don't think he still has his 70% damage reduction, although I'm not entirely sure. Domain is active, his active skill is active, Big Bad Bosses is active. I'm still going to let him chill in slot 1. Yeah, double digits. He'll still have enough damage reduction to be just fine. 37.6 million. The only thing we're missing off this rotation is Super EZA Kid Buu support. 21 mil crit. Damn. He is insane. I got so caught up in how good he is, I forgot to finish off his passive. Of course, he does have that 20% HP he recovers at the end of turn when he receives an attack, which with the amount of healing this team can have, I doubt you'll ever struggle when it comes to having super low HP because you'll just recoup it all back. Of course, he has guaranteed unarmed super attack nullification for 3 turns, which adds to all of his damage reduction. He kind of seems untouchable, especially for those first 3 turns. And he barely loses that after that on the 4th turn because he can still nullify unarmed super attacks with a 70% chance as well. Of course, the only thing is you're going to need to be facing an enemy, which of course has unarmed super attacks. But EZA Strength Kid Buu is up there as one of the best EZAs in the game. The Buu team, Margin Power, Power Absorption, the extreme variant of Majin Buu Saga is honestly ridiculous. And as I said, this piece of Hubba Bubba is the perfect pink bow on top of the present that is this team. He ties everything together. He is insanely good. Between him and Goku, I'm still yet to use Goku. They are 1 and 2. Easily in the game, I think they're going to be 1 and 2. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I can't wait to try Goku out now. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.